Yeah. Okay, but hold on. The outro, I gotta find it immediately. So we are actually live right now. All right, Shampoo. All right. Thank you. All right. I think we are live. Let me see if we can do a few shares here just to make sure. And stream. Let's share this. Let's share this to a few platforms. Let's share this to Facebook. Let me see how we can share this thing. What's on your mind? Share this. Let's share this first, and we'll do the rest of the share on my phone. We gotta close this thing out here and share screen. No, we are not doing that. Let's see here. Dashboard, send. So we're gonna do this immediately. This is LDEF, switch account, playlist, channel. Let's see if this thing is live on the screen here first and foremost. Let's reshare this. Guys, forgive me here. We are trying to do something brand new, and I hope you guys can hear me. I have to make sure here this is being done right. And I think we are live on YouTube right now. Yes, we are actually live. And, okay, this is live. So let's try to share this to a few groups. So this is kind of a little bit different, guys. My apologies. I just have to make sure share differently. And we are going to go on Facebook. Let's try to share to our quick link. We're not going over there. Early actions. Pretty soon, people. No worries. We are trying to share this thing as much as we can. This is on Facebook. We are going to come here. We are going to go back to share. We are going to copy link. I think we are going to share from here. Here, we're going to share. All right, I think this is where we're going to share to group. Let's share to a few group here. We're going to share to Spoon Live. We're going to post here. Come here. We're going to share to group again. Apologies, people. We are testing this out. My sincere apology. We're about to go live immediately. I'm just trying to test out a few things here. Trying to share it to a few group just to make sure. It's the first time we're going live on our YouTube page. We just set it up. So please, I apologize for any information. We just want to make sure we are doing everything right here. It's kind of different. So we want to be running from this page. It's the LDEF page. We're going to coordinate everything, folks. We will do our best to coordinate everything to make sure everything comes out the way it's supposed to. Making preparations here. If you're coming on, man, please help me share the show. We're just going to talk a little bit. It's first time from our YouTube page. We have a bunch of stuff connected to it, so we are trying to make sure everything plays out perfectly. So, your people, your story, yeah. Over here from the YouTube page, I don't think I can play my video from here, but let me share to a few platforms, and then we go from there. And let's see, group. Let me see if I can share from here. We're gonna post this as well. Let me post to a few platforms. And hopefully a few people can come in here. Let's talk a few things about Liberia. Let me see here. First time, y'all. Please, apologies. We are just setting this up. So there will be some glitches here and there. They are not intentional. Let me send this one to my brother Mountain Cully's page. Cully's page, rather. One more group. Let me share this to one more group. If you're coming on, I see nobody on right now, which is kind of good. Because I don't want you guys to sit and wait and say, "Oh, Mr. Dwalu, why you told us to come over here and you are not doing this?" So I think we are making some airwaves. I just want to make sure everything is here. I cannot go live from Facebook. I'm currently in Facebook jail. All right, we are making progress here. So let me see if this thing is live. Yes, it is live.
Yes, it is live.
So you come in, man. This is our new YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Come on board. Let's talk Liberia a little bit. I just want to make sure everything I'm doing here is in the proper place. And I think it's right now. I'm pretty sure people can get me because I'm getting me live on my Facebook page as well. We have actually shared the show to a few platforms. Thank you very much, Lapuziga. Thanks for sharing the show. It's our brand new Facebook page. Actually, our YouTube page. We are trying to test it out. This is mostly testing, so please forgive me. We are trying to link it with a few platforms so we can post everything from our Facebook page. Yeah, man, my people, how was church today? How was everything, man? Empowering Liberia, Liberian diaspora to national development. Why does Liberian diaspora matter? Why do we matter? Or don't we matter at all? This is another question that we can ask ourselves. Do we even matter? Does the diaspora matter at all? For those of you in Australia, those of you in Europe, those of you in parts of Africa, and especially those of us here in the United States, why does the Liberian diaspora matter? This is the crucial question we're going to try to answer tonight. Empowering Liberia, diaspora contribution to national development. What is our contribution to national development? Let's discuss that a little bit. If you're coming on board, help me share the show. Let's discuss Liberia. Some of you that went to church today, hopefully you had a great time at church. If you're just coming from thinking the papi, as I did today, and I hope you think the papi. My bishop today, Bishop Dennis, he spoke about let it go. Don't hold things inside. It never helps anybody. It was a great sermon today. The bishop preached on the issue of don't try to set a score. For you to continue to live the way God wants you to live, you got to lessen the burden on your heart and forgive and move on. It cannot be a burden to you. It's not going to help you. But today we are here to discuss what is the contribution of the Liberian diaspora to Liberia. It's our new Facebook, actually YouTube page. I know it's brand spanking new. We are trying to link the stream y'all to the various pages. It's not going to be as perfect in the beginning, but if you're coming on board, please help us share the show. Let's discuss Liberia. Please, let's discuss Liberia. It is always going to be about Liberia for me. It is the only way we can elevate this country. It is the only way we can elevate Mama Liberia. Please, if you're coming on board, help me share the show. Help me discuss Liberia. Help me. Let's make some sense of what's happening in the country. Help me share the show to your various Facebook pages. I will appreciate it 100%. 100% I will appreciate it. Help me share the show. So many people as you can, we will appreciate that. Sharing the show for me here. I don't know what's going on with this page, but if we can share to a few platforms, I will appreciate you for helping me do that. Let me come back here to Facebook and see whether it does this. Groups, Facebook groups, post. We're gonna post it here as well. What is the contribution of the Liberian in the diaspora? What is our contribution? A better question here: are we contributing anything at all to the republic? All we do is perhaps complain about what is happening and not happening in Liberia. Are we contributing anything to the republic? This is the crucial question here tonight. Let's discuss it. Let's see if it makes sense. And we are asking you guys, man, join us, share the show. We're going to talk a little bit. Our brand new YouTube page. Our goal here is to bring a message and ask a few questions as to what we are doing to elevate the country. We've spoken about the Liberian Diaspora Cooperation, how we can pull our resources, how we can take our money, organize it better, and invest into Liberia. For those of you who've already purchased your shares, those of you who've made your investments, we want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. And we're going to tell you, say, listen, we have a lot of work to do. We will be updating today. We are a little over $35,000 now in the first couple of weeks. And today's topic is very simple. What is the contribution of the Liberian in the diaspora to their home country? Are those contributions sufficient? Are we organizing better here in the West to contribute to Liberia? This is the question. Have you bought your share to be a part of this train that is a push to build up the private sector in Liberia? Are you going to join us? Or are you going to be somebody who works tirelessly to make sure this does not succeed because it was not begun by you or somebody you know? What is going to be your push to make sure this comes to fruition? This is the question here today. And the reason why I'm here today is our new YouTube page just launched. I'm actually doing this live from the YouTube page. As we go along, it's going to get a little bit perfect. And I want you guys to know the Liberian Diaspora Equity Fund is alive and well. We are continuing to push to bring the message to anybody who will listen that our country is in dire straits. We have a lot of work to do in Liberia to be able to lift the conditions of our country. Have diaspora Liberians organized better to grow their capital in the country? Are we bringing capital to Liberia to grow small businesses across the country? Are we creating jobs in Liberia? Are we organizing better to empower local businesses in the country? You know, one thing I'm doing everything I can to stay far away from this politicking of the day, because this is the easiest way to destroy everything. It's the easier way for somebody to say, oh, the man talk about politics, so I don't want to be a part of this, and they run away. We will stay far away from politics, but I will continue to say this to you and everybody else who will listen, that we in the diaspora, we have failed massively. But it's not late. We can turn this around, organize better, and go to our country and try to bring some capital into the country. Remember, on the last show yesterday, we had a discussion about what is the mission or the vision of the Liberian Diaspora Corporation. And I tried to explain that vision yesterday. And if you were not watching the show yesterday, we asked if I took by Fatima, my brother Ikeni Phillips, and myself on the show yesterday. We discussed in length about the Liberian Diaspora Corporation. Like I said, it's our brand new YouTube page. If you're coming on board, please subscribe to the page. Almost literally everything that we post will go on the YouTube page. It will go on our brand new Facebook page. We just created a brand new Facebook page. Our StreamYard is spanking brand new. We should have been launching from the StreamYard, but it was a little glitch, so we're going back into it to be able to do this. Guys, remember, you can go to Eventbrite and you can book a seat for the event that is coming up May 31st. Book your seat. It's a black tie event. Like I said, we will go everywhere across the country. We'll grow across the globe as we get more money to be able to raise this money. But I will pose this question to you guys again. What have we done in the diaspora to have an economic impact in the country in Liberia? What have we done? What have we contributed to the country with the exception of sending $100, $200 home to our relatives to be able to buy food, pay for school fees, etc.? Can we do better? As collectively, as a people, can we do far better than what we've done? The Liberian Diaspora Corporation has a simple mission. And here's the vision of the corporation. Primarily, is to make our shareholders money, make them some profit, grow their investment. That's primary. Secondarily, is to create massive amount of jobs across the country. Every single county in the country, the goal is, as part of this vision over time, to have a tentacle in every single county that is improving the economic condition of our country. Third, to have economic influence in the country. We want to control imports. We want to control exports. We want to control the direction of our country economically. We want to make sure Liberians become millionaires in their own country through great to the strategy, to the pooling our resources and developing something that transforms the country. And last but not least, is a trial to get Liberian expertise back into the country. This is the push of the Liberian Diaspora Corporation. This is the vision. Make our shareholders money, grow massive amount of jobs in the country to expand the Liberian economy, have economic influence in the country, and to bring Liberian expertise back to the country. This is the vision of the Liberian Diaspora Corporation. We encourage you to visit our website, Liberian Diaspora Equity Fund.com. This is the website. Take a look, go there, and read through some of the document. We have a answer and question page on that document, on that page. We want you to go through it and just try to make sure you ask a lot of questions pertaining to what we intended to do. And as we grow the organization, as we raise the money, remember the target here is $25 million. This is doable. Guys, remember yesterday, the number varies based on who you're talking to, but we are literally shipping close to 600 million, as high as $1 billion to the country every single year. The money is not being channeled. Over the last 30, 40 years, that's what we send home every single year. The money is not being channeled, and every single year we do the same thing and we get the same single result. And nothing we've done to fight to transform the country. I want you guys to pass the message along. The corporation needs every single Liberian in the diaspora and back home. And for those of you back home, I'm coming up with a plan pretty soon to be able to purchase, and then we will fly your certificate into the country. When anybody's coming, they will bring your certificates and you can pick it up. So we will organize it in that fashion. And we will do everything we can to get to every single Liberian who wants to be a part of this organization, who wants to be a part of the Liberian Diaspora Corporation. We will do our best to make sure he or she is a part of this. The corporation must have a mark in Liberia. We must try in our weak little ways to reorient the thinking of our people. For people to understand that for Liberia to grow, we must do something collectively as a people who've come to the West. I've told you guys continuously and in the past. Your coming to America was not a mistake. Your going to Australia was not a mistake. Your coming to Europe was not a mistake. You came to this location so you can be able to look back to the country, and then collectively, we can effectuate some change in the country that is going to transform our homeland. For so long, all we've done is just spoken and done nothing on a massive scale. The corporation intends to change this. I want to say to everybody who would listen to this message and who will hear me out, we have to organize better. We have to organize better. The corporation is doing just that, organizing better, so we can raise money, find Liberia best and brightest minds to be able to go to the continent, go back to our home country, and we can set up businesses. We can push for national development, for economic control of our country, to create local millionaires so they can go into the respective districts and be able to start businesses in the district so our country can develop. Liberia is not going to be developed from afar. The monies we send home is not being channeled in a proper manner. The monies we send home is not being organized adequately. And this is why for the last 40 years, we have sent home billions of dollars into Liberia. Nothing has happened. And nothing is going to happen until we organize better. If we don't organize better, nothing is going to change. And I believe wholeheartedly that the corporation can change this if we make the calculated decisions to take the risks, calculate the risks, to mitigate some of the obstacles that may stand in the way to the strategy and innovation, to invest into crucial businesses across the country that is going to lift the country economically, to grow the government tax base so we can truly begin development. You know, sometimes it is okay for us to pray and say, you know, God will descend from the heavens and magically transform Liberia. It doesn't work that way, y'all. It's never going to work that way. Never. God will not descend from the heavens and transform Liberia. We ourselves have to go and build small-scale manufacturing across the country. This is doable. We have to go and expand the agricultural sector to feed us and maybe perhaps have some exports out of the country. To get into the country and build a large-scale garment factory in our country. We get into the country, we build a large-scale fishing industry in the country. We get into the country, we can bring call centers to the country and create a massive amount of jobs, to take expertise back to the University of Liberia, to train people that will be far better than we are. This is the dream of the corporation. This is the dream of the corporation, to make sure the next generation is far better than we are so they can build a better Liberia. But if we do not collaborate, if we do not form our block, if we do not form one fist to go into the country as an organized fist and set politics aside for a second and say, this is my country, this country is going to develop, we will make the decisions, we will take the pains, we will make the commitments, and we are going to develop this occasion because this has been bequeathed unto us by our forefathers. It is okay. Sometimes I will hear a Liberian say, that Liberia place there, me, I don't care about that place anymore. I'm done with Liberia. My children are not in Liberia. I would say this to you, you can never divorce yourself from Liberia. It doesn't matter how hard you try. This is our heritage. You can claim that I would not turn back to Liberia, but let me tell you something. You are not Liberian. I think if Becky said this, the former president of South Africa. You are not African because you were born in Africa. You're African because Africa was born in you. The same holds true for Liberia. You are not Liberian because you were born in Liberia. You're Liberian because Liberia was born in you. We cannot divorce us from Liberia. The cooperation must come to life. Collectively, we must breathe life back into Liberia. If this is the only thing we do before we leave this planet, we must breathe life back into Liberia because it is a necessity. If we don't, nobody else going to. Our country dies because we have turned our back on Liberia and we say, you know what? What's Liberia done for me? I'm no longer going to Liberia. I have a different passport now. Your mother's grave is in Liberia, y'all. Your father's grave is in Liberia. All your ancestors' grave is in Liberia. You say, well, my children were not born in Liberia. I'm not going back to Liberia. There's a claim you can make. I'm not going to argue to the contrary, but I'll tell you this. Liberia needs its sons and daughters to come home and come home properly. Come home to Robertsport. We need to go home to Sesto and to Buchanan, into Ganta and Seklipley and Sanikwede. We must go home. Into Bapuru City, into Vonjima, into Foya, into Barclayville and Lexington. We must go home. Into Margibi, into Kakata, we must go home. And in home into Moserado. But we must go home right. We must go home to change the condition of our people through economics. We must go home to change the condition of our people through job creation. We must go home with innovation and new strategy to expand the condition economically of our people through unity. Through an organization that we did not come to America to get educated and remain, but we got educated and not turn our backs on Liberia because we must breathe life back into this country because nobody else will. I want to say something to you, and I think Asifa Tukpa said this yesterday. This is not meant to demean anybody. My generation, the generation over the age of 40, the most educated generation in Liberia's history. Let me repeat this. It is not meant to demean people that are under 40, but I mean this. They're the most adequately educated Liberians over 40. But here's the contrast today. What have they contributed to Liberia? With the massive amount of education we've gotten, what have we contributed to Liberia? I can't touch it. I can't see it. I can't feel it. And we are dying off. We are dying off. And until we organize better and we change this before we leave this planet, to create small-scale manufacturing in Liberia, to ensure the power grids come back on, to build a massive power infrastructure through economics, through organization, through the cooperation, to go back to the country and become the professors at the universities, at the high schools, at the elementary schools, to breathe life back into Liberia. Our country remain as is. Our education will mean nothing. It will mean nothing. The most educated generation of Liberians over the age of 40, our contribution to the country has been nothing but a minimum. Bare minimum. We only go to the country when we are promised a cushioned government position. We are not supposed to talk it. You must say, Oba, when you come to listen to me, I want you to listen to me very carefully. I want to be very unequivocal about this issue. Liberia needs the sons and daughters desperately in Bapuru City, in Topmanburg. We are needed, but we must go home in an organized fashion. We must go home with innovation, with ingenuity. We must raise this money, $25 million. We must raise this money. My goal is to ensure every single Liberian in the diaspora purchase 10 shares. That's $1,000. This is not free money. You are not making a contribution. You're making an investment. We will set up a board. The corporation is a highly regulated industry. It's in a highly regulated industry here in America, registered and organized here in the state of Massachusetts. We have met every requirement, and our goal is to raise this money, to commit the time, to commit the energy, to ensure the people that are coming after us are far better, far more educated than we are, to ensure the Liberian family stays together so that Papa can come home properly, to ensure the man remains in the home. If you go to our country today, the family has been dissolved to a large extent because there is no jobs in the country. There is no organization in the country. None whatsoever. We are not supposed to say this because if you say it, it's Mr. Dualu, Liberia is a lost cause. I refuse to accept that. Liberia can never be a lost cause. Never. Never a lost cause. We sit and we enjoy the comforts of another man's country while Liberia rot in its place. No direction in the country. Those of us in the diaspora, we must organize better. We must organize better. I don't know how that organization is going to be. I'm not going to tell you I have the answers to everything, but I will say this to you. That organization must be championed by us here in America. It must be championed by each of us. Heavily championed. We must start something in the country that create massive amount of jobs across the country. If you have not bought your shares yet, my people, go to the website. You can zero your money in. The number is 774-578-1963. Go to the website, Liberian Diaspora Equity Fund.com. One word altogether, no space. Check out the website, read the document, click on buy shares. We will send you your certificate. We will send you what we must send you. We will send you your prospectus. We will send you the share purchase agreement. You will read through it. And then we will raise the money. And we will pick out the projects. And we will come back to you and say, listen, we have selected 3 full projects. We can vote on what we invest in, whether we become a large-scale rice production company. And then maybe over 30, 10, 15, 20 years, we got 30, 40 businesses within the portfolio of the organization. And as we grow, we groom better Liberians than we are. We set up better organizations in the country. We organize our country better where we have total control of the economics of our country, where we have total control on exports, imports, what comes to the country. And we start grooming Liberian millionaires for Ganta, for Bar, Grooming Liberian millionaire for Folksville, Grand Bassa County. Grooming Liberian millionaires for Edana, Grand Bassa County. Grooming Liberian millionaires for Lexington, up in Sano, for Greenville, up in Sano, for Barclayville, for Hopper. This is what we need to do to organize our country better. The cooperation will continue to come to you. Like I said, we just launched our YouTube page today. I'm testing the page out, and I just come here. We will continue to do most of these shows. As we upload more videos, we will continue to say to our people that Liberia is ready. Liberia is always open to embrace her daughters and sons. We must go home. We must go home to Robert Sports, to the beautiful Robert Sports and beautiful Hopper. We must go back home. We must go to Maryland. We must bathe on the beaches of our heritage. It is okay. I'm not here to claim to anybody that I will tell you how to live your life. This is not what I'm suggesting. I don't want nobody to misconstrue what I'm saying here. But what I'm telling you is we cannot turn our backs on Liberia because Liberia desperately needs her prepared sons and daughters to go back to the country to work tirelessly to transform our homeland. The corporation intends to do just that. We will work hard. This we will promise you. We will pray, but we will put into work. We will put in the work to create a small factories across the country. We will put in the work to put men and women to work in Liberia in the private sector. We will put into work to develop a vibrant private sector in the republic where the only source of employment in the country cannot be government. The goal is to groom Liberian businesses across the country, partner with Liberian businesses so we can control the direction of our society. If you haven't subscribed to the new YouTube page, I'm encouraging you to subscribe today. Let's organize better so we can champion the cause of Liberia, so we can continue to push. You can go to Eventbrite right now and reserve your seat for the 31st of May. We'll be having the first in person. If you're living here, especially here in the Northeast or here in New England, if you're not too far away from Lowell, Massachusetts, we put that in that location because it's strategically located. So if you're in Worcester, if you're in Boston, if you're in sunny New Hampshire, if you're in Rhode Island, parts of Rhode Island, most of Massachusetts, you can come to the event. Reserve your seat. Go to Eventbrite. Reserve your seat. And let's come and talk about Liberia and raise some money. This is not a charity. This is a for-profit event. This is not a charity. You're buying shares. We will send you your certificate and other corporation, and you can hold your shares, and we will invest. And then over time, your share will grow. As we grow this corporation, as we grow the businesses in Liberia, your share price will grow. And then gradually, we can build something that we control. Something with simple intention. Make our shareholders some money, create thousands of jobs across the country, have some economic influence in the country that we control, that Liberians control, and then to bring Liberian expertise back to the country so we can grow. As I leave you, I want you to always remember, Liberia will not change. Nothing is going to change in the country until we make the calculated decision to change Liberia. The diaspora must take a proper place if Liberia is going to be transformed. The Liberian diaspora must take her proper place if Liberia is going to be transformed. Remember this always. Liberia needs you. We can never turn our backs on Liberia, not because we were born in Liberia, but because Liberia is born in us. You can go all the way to the moon. Get to the Tabagi. You will look for it. You're not joking. So many fufu when ko osa pepper fufu you will look for it. Chore and gray. That mean I like it bawe. Get to the Tabagi. But You will find it. Liberia is born in us. She's born in us, not because we were born in Liberia.